What if I told you that your clutter, the endless pile of stuff, the overflowing to-do list, the non-stop notifications, isn't just stealing your space, it's stealing your mind? Yeah, sounds dramatic, but think about it. Ever felt completely overwhelmed for no obvious reason? Like your brain is constantly running, but you're not actually getting anywhere? That's not just stress, that's mental noise, and a lot of it comes from the chaos in your environment. The good news? There's a way out. And no, it doesn't involve selling all your belongings and living in an empty white room. Minimalism isn't about having less just for the sake of it. It's about making room for more. More clarity, more focus, more peace. It's about stripping away the distractions that keep your brain in overdrive so you can actually think, breathe, and be present. But here's the thing, most people get minimalism wrong. They think it's just about decluttering their closet, when in reality, it's about decluttering their mind. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple, actionable strategy to cut the mental clutter that's been holding you back without making extreme sacrifices. So, if you've ever felt stuck, drained, or like your brain is just too full, stick around. Because once you see what's really weighing you down, you'll never look at your life the same way again. Number 1. The ruthless purge. You're drowning and you don't even realize it. Not in water, not in work, but in stuff. Clutter is everywhere, on your desk, in your closet, on your phone. It sneaks up on you, fills every inch of space, and before you know it, you're suffocating under a mountain of things you thought you needed. But here's the truth, most of it, completely useless. And today, we're going to do something radical about it. Now, I know what you're thinking. But I might need this someday, or this has sentimental value. Trust me, I've been there. That's how we all justify keeping junk. But let's get real. When was the last time you actually used that stack of old receipts, that sweater you swore you'd wear, or those random cables from gadgets you don't even own anymore? Exactly. The problem isn't just the clutter, it's the mental weight it brings. And the only way to fix it? The ruthless purge. This isn't your gentle, maybe I should donate a few things kind of decluttering. No, this is cold, emotionless, cutthroat elimination. If you haven't used it in the last 3 months, it goes. Period. If it doesn't serve a clear purpose or bring genuine joy, goodbye. And don't even try the sentimental excuse. Take a picture of it, then let it go. Because let's be honest, if an object is only valuable because of a memory, the memory is what actually matters, not the thing collecting dust. I did this once, and I'll never forget it. One night, after an exhausting day at work, I sat on my couch staring at a room filled with things I didn't even like, clothes I never wore, books I never read, useless kitchen gadgets I bought on a whim. It hit me. I was living in a museum of bad decisions, so I grabbed a trash bag and started tossing. No second guessing, no what-ifs. It was ruthless. By the end of the night, I had 4 massive bags ready to go. The next morning, I woke up feeling lighter, not just physically, but mentally. It was like I'd cleared space in my brain, not just my apartment. This isn't just about cleaning up. It's about reclaiming control. Every unnecessary thing you own is another thing taking up space in your mind. When you clear your space, you clear your head. It's about making room for what actually matters. Imagine walking into a home that feels intentional, where every item serves a purpose. Imagine a life where you don't waste time digging through clutter, where you only own what you truly need. That's the power of the ruthless purge. So, here's my challenge to you. Pick a room, a drawer, even just a shelf, and start purging. No hesitations, no emotional attachments, just ruthless, unapologetic decision-making. Because in the end, this isn't just about throwing things away. It's about making space for peace, clarity, and freedom. And trust me, once you start, you'll never go back. Number 2, digital Sabbath. Imagine waking up and reaching for your phone, only to find nothing, no notifications, no endless scroll, just silence. Feels unsettling, right? That's because we've wired ourselves to be constantly stimulated, constantly distracted. And let's be real, most of us don't even enjoy it anymore. We just do it because, well, what else is there to do? But here's the challenge. What if, for one whole day, you did nothing digital? No social media, no YouTube, no mindless scrolling. Sounds extreme, maybe, but trust me, it's exactly what your brain has been begging for. Now, I know what you're thinking. But I need my phone. What if I miss something important? Let's be honest, most of what you see online, not important. That viral post, forgotten in a day. That group chat drama, not your problem. The truth is, our devices have turned into chains disguised as conveniences. And the only way to break free? A digital Sabbath, a full 24-hour detox where you step away from screens and actually exist in the real world. I tried this once, and let me tell you, the first few hours felt brutal. My hand kept twitching toward my phone like some kind of withdrawal symptom. I kept wondering, what if someone messaged me? What if I'm missing out on something? But then something shifted. I started noticing things I never did before. The way the sunlight hit my desk, the quiet hum of life outside, the fact that I actually had thoughts instead of just reacting to a never-ending feed of other people's opinions. By midday, I felt lighter. And by the time the 24 hours were up, I realized something crazy. I wasn't in a rush to go back. This isn't about hating technology, it's about reclaiming your attention. When you step away from the digital noise, you start to hear yourself again. You start to feel again. You realize that boredom isn't the enemy, it's actually the birthplace of creativity. So, here's my challenge. Pick one day this week and unplug. No excuses, no cheating. See what happens when you let your mind breathe. Because in a world constantly fighting for your attention, the most powerful thing you can do is take it back. Number 3, the ghost mode rule. You don't owe anyone an instant reply. Read that again. In a world where everyone expects you to be available 24/7, one of the most powerful things you can do is simply disappear. Not forever, just long enough to remind people and yourself that your time is yours. This is what I call the ghost mode rule. And trust me, once you master it, life gets a lot quieter, a lot calmer, and way more on your terms. Now I know what you're thinking, but won't people think I'm ignoring them? Maybe. And that's fine. We've all been conditioned to respond instantly, as if every message is a life or death situation. It's not. 99% of the time, that text, that email, that notification, it can wait. And yet, we feel this weird guilt if we don't respond immediately. Why? Because we've trained people to expect it. But here's the twist. If you stop responding instantly, people stop expecting you to. That's the magic of ghost mode. I started doing this after realizing my phone was controlling me, not the other way around. Every buzz, every ding, it was like I was on a leash, constantly checking, constantly reacting. One day, I decided to stop. No announcement, no dramatic, "I'm taking a break" post. I just vanished, put my phone on silent, answered texts on my time, and let the world wait. And you know what happened? Nothing bad. The earth kept spinning, friends adapted, work emails sorted themselves out. And the best part? I felt free. This isn't about being rude or unresponsive. It's about reclaiming your time. When you stop being always available, people start respecting your space, and more importantly, you start respecting your own. You realize that you don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to justify a delayed reply. You're not being distant or cold. You're just living at your own pace, and that's something we all deserve. So here's my challenge. Try it. Put your phone on silent. Let messages sit. Answer when you feel like it. Watch what happens when you stop being a digital servant and start living on your own schedule. Because in a world where everyone's screaming for attention, the real power move is knowing when to disappear. Number 4, the dopamine detox diet. Your brain is addicted. No, really. Every time you scroll, tap, or refresh, your brain gets a tiny hit of dopamine. And just like that, you're hooked. We chase notifications like slot machine addicts, bouncing between apps, craving just one more hit of novelty. And then, we wonder why we feel exhausted, unmotivated, and constantly bored when we're not staring at a screen. Here's the truth. We've overstimulated ourselves into numbness. But there's a way out. It's called the dopamine detox diet. And once you try it, you'll realize just how much control you actually have over your brain. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, "Oh, great, another quit social media lecture, hear me out." This isn't about deleting all your apps and moving to a cabin in the woods. It's about resetting your brain's reward system so that real life, yes, actual life, starts to feel enjoyable again. When your dopamine levels are fried from constant stimulation, even simple things like reading a book, taking a walk, or having a deep conversation feel boring in comparison. But when you detox, you start appreciating everything again. The silence, the slowness, the things that actually bring you real fulfillment. So how does this work? Simple. For 24 hours, you cut out all high dopamine activities. No social media, no YouTube rabbit holes, no junk food, no gaming, no endless texting. Just you, your thoughts, and reality. Sounds terrifying, right? That's how you know you need it. The first few hours will be brutal. You'll reach for your phone without thinking. You'll feel restless, even bored out of your mind. But then, something shifts. Your brain starts to recalibrate. By the end of the day, you'll feel lighter, more focused, and weirdly, at peace. I tried this for the first time when I realized my entire life was happening through a screen. I'd wake up, check my phone before even getting out of bed, and by the time I blinked, the day was gone. I wasn't even present. I was just consuming, constantly looking for the next hit of stimulation. So I went cold turkey for a day, no distractions, just me and whatever was in front of me. And for the first time in forever, I actually felt alive. This isn't about punishing yourself. It's about regaining control. When you step back from constant stimulation, you reset your brain to find joy in the little things again. Suddenly reading feels interesting. Conversations feel deeper. Even just sitting in silence feels good. And the best part, once you've detoxed, you don't need constant stimulation anymore. You get to choose what deserves your attention. So here's your challenge. Try it. Just for one day. Put the distractions away, sit with the discomfort, and watch what happens. Because once you break free from the dopamine loop, you stop chasing quick hits of happiness and start experiencing real fulfillment. Number 5, the 10-item life. You don't need more stuff. You need less. And no, this isn't some minimalist sermon telling you to throw away everything and live out of a backpack. But hear me out. What if you only kept the best of what you actually use? Imagine a life where you own just 10 essential items, 10 things you love, rely on, and don't constantly replace with the latest trend. Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me. This isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. We've all been there, closets overflowing, drawers packed with things we swear we'll use one day. But let's be honest, half of it just sits there, collecting dust while we continue to chase the next thing. It's exhausting. And ironically, the more we own, the the harder it is to find anything. Ever spent 10 minutes searching for your favorite hoodie, only to realize it was buried under a pile of clothes you don't even like anymore? Exactly. The 10-item life is about cutting the noise and keeping only what truly matters. Think about it. When you travel, you live out of a small suitcase, yet you somehow survive just fine. So why do we feel the need to drown in stuff at home? When you limit your life to 10 core items, clothing, gadgets, tools, or anything you actually use daily, you start to see what's really important. And suddenly, everything becomes easier. Fewer choices, less clutter, and more time spent on things that actually bring you joy. I tried this when I realized my room felt more like a storage unit than a place I actually lived in. I was drowning in clothes I never wore, books I never read, and random gadgets I thought would change my life, but just ended up in a junk drawer. So I made a bold move. I picked 10 essential things that I used almost every day. A few quality outfits, a reliable backpack, my favorite notebook, a great pair of shoes. And guess what? I didn't miss the rest. In fact, I felt lighter, more focused, less stressed. This isn't about depriving yourself, it's about making space for what actually matters. When you stop chasing more, you start valuing what you already have. And suddenly, life feels simpler. So here's the challenge. Take a look around. What are the 10 things you couldn't live without? Keep those, and maybe, just maybe, let go of the rest. Because in the end, the less you own, the more freedom you gain. Number 6, the selective isolation plan. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to step back. Not forever, not dramatically, just strategically. It's what I call the selective isolation plan, a method of temporarily stepping away from the noise, the endless demands, and even certain people to reset, recharge, and regain control over your life. Sounds extreme? Maybe. But trust me, this isn't about cutting people off or disappearing into the mountains. It's about choosing when to engage and when to focus entirely on yourself. We've all been there, constantly replying to messages, showing up for people who wouldn't do the same for us, stretching ourselves thin between obligations that barely even matter in the long run. And in the middle of all that, our own goals, priorities, and peace get buried. Ever noticed how you feel drained after spending too much time with certain people? Or how hard it is to concentrate when you're constantly interrupted by notifications, social events, or drama that doesn't even concern you? Yeah, that's where selective isolation comes in. The idea is simple. Take intentional breaks from people and distractions that don't serve your progress. Not out of resentment, but out of self-respect. This could mean muting certain group chats, declining unnecessary invites, or setting hard boundaries with those who constantly drain your energy. It's not about being rude, it's about reclaiming your mental space. And when you do, you'll be amazed at how much clarity you gain. I remember a time when I felt stuck, overwhelmed with responsibilities, mentally exhausted, and somehow still saying yes to every little request that came my way. So I decided to test this out. For a week, I pulled back. I responded to only the essential messages, limited my social interactions, and spent more time doing things that actually mattered to me, reading, working on my goals, and simply being present with myself. And you know what happened? The world kept spinning. No one was offended. No one's life fell apart. And most importantly, I felt clearer, calmer, and more in control than I had in years. This isn't about isolation in the negative sense. It's about selectivity. Who and what actually deserves your time? Where is your energy best spent? When you stop overextending yourself, you'll notice something interesting. People respect your time more. You become more intentional, more present, and far less stressed. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, try it. Step back, reset, and watch how much stronger you come back. because sometimes the best way to reconnect with the world is to disconnect selectively. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope this video gave you a new perspective on minimalism and how it can bring more mental clarity into your life. If you found this helpful or insightful, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps more people discover this message. And if you're interested in more content like this, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. If you know someone who could use a little more peace and clarity in their life, share this video with them. Sometimes, a small shift in mindset is all it takes to break free from mental clutter, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know. What's one thing you know you need to let go of to create more space for yourself? Let's start a conversation and support each other in this journey. Remember, minimalism isn't just about having less. It's about making space for what truly matters. Your peace, your focus, your energy. They deserve room to breathe. Until next time, take care and keep creating space for the life you truly want.